Next, against the Colts, Schrader screens to new Raider Roger Craig.
All right, so it looks like the NFL season is up and ready to roll.
All right, welcome to week number 2 of Nationwide Sports. My name is Rich Perez with my partner, the quarterback, number 13, which we prefer. He prefers number 10, I think. Anyway,
I'm good with any of them. It's all good. It's number.
Jay Schrader, Raiders, Redskins, UCLA, Cardinals, Bengals. We won't talk about those Bengals years. Jay.
You know, that was a long year. That was a long, long year. You know, but then we got to throw in the Blue Jays, so a little baseball, you know, all that stuff. Hey, my friend, 1 week, talk about all the stuff that's happened in a week. I mean, baseball-wise, Southern California kids, first no-hitter for the Padres.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, that was a great pitch game. And then the White Sox followed up with
The
one.
White Sox follow up with it, but
Carlos Rodon.
yeah, I mean, it was unbelievable. Musgraves down there, San Diego native kid, you know, gets to come and pitch for the hometown team. So bravo to them. And I know growing up watching all the great pitchers from the Padres coming close, but never quite getting there. So it's kind of hard to imagine, you know, in 1 week you got the Padres throw a no-hitter. It's their first one ever. And the White Sox, that was number 20 for the White Sox.
That's unreal, huh?
That's crazy, isn't it?
I mean, think back to the White Sox. Who have they had who've thrown some no-hitters?
I'm blank. I'll have to Google it.
I know it was Giolito last year.
Yeah.
Rodon this year.
But
Did Tom Seaver throw one? I mean,
I don't know. When was he there? I mean, he was only
at
there
the end.
Yeah, he was only there a brief time. So, but yeah, they said it was number 20 for the White Sox, and
Brett Burns, I think, threw one. Oh my God!
If you know, go ahead and give us a call, and you know, tell us we don't know anything because we obviously don't know. We don't know White Sox history, obviously.
No. Unreal. I'm sure there's some great names and some Wilbur Wood maybe threw a no hitter.
There's one.
Wilbur Wood, remember
Wilbur
that guy?
Wood, yeah.
Unbelievable. Did you watch baseball way back then when you were a kid?
I did. I watched baseball all the time growing up. Believe it or not, I still remember before beanbag chairs, what did they have? You probably had one. Remember what they had, the blow-up chairs with the arms?
Yes.
I had one of those as a kid, and I used to sit in front of the TV and watch baseball games and, you know, just was memorized by it and everything else. So you can see our number, 855-502-4321. If you got White Sox history and want to tell us who those pitchers are, we would appreciate it because I'm drawing a blank. I don't have that in the memory.
Right now, Ben's in Arizona going, I got this, guys.
I got this, yeah.
So Ben Garcia will be joining us at 6:15 in about 10 minutes from now. And, of course, he's our Arizona man. He's going to tell us everything about Arizona. He's going to push Arizona down our throat to make sure that we know Arizona's on the map, folks.
Well, it's right next door, so we probably should know a little bit of it. But, it'll be great to talk to Ben, see what the buzz is in town there, see what's going on down there. And as everybody's getting ready for the draft, the NFL draft in just a couple of weeks coming up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really want to see. I guess it's a foregone conclusion. Urban Meyer and the Jags are going to go with Trevor Lawrence, right?
They're going to take Trevor Lawrence with the number 1 pick. Yeah, they've already decided that. So then they can actually. Well, I think they have 2 or 3 days ahead of time. If they let the league know, they can actually start negotiating the contract.
Wow.
So, because it's only with the number 1 pick. After that, everybody's got to wait. So I think the number 1 pick, the suspense is over, but we'll see what happens. I'm interested. I got a personal interest in Penei Sewell, coached him in high school, big offensive tackle out of Oregon. He'll go up there. He will be the first offensive lineman to go. And just a great kid and a great family.
From St. George?
Yeah, up in St. George, Desert Hills High School. I had the opportunity to coach him and his brothers. His older brother graduated from University of Nevada and is trying to hook up with the team. He was a linebacker there. His younger brother, Nephi, played safety and I believe is now moving to linebacker. And then his younger brother was a freshman linebacker at Oregon last year.
Wow.
So
did you know when you saw him in high school, did you say, this guy
he was a beast. He was a beast. I mean, he was He was about 6'4", almost 6'5" in high school. And the amazing thing is he's a huge kid, but I also, when all the recruiters came around and Nick Saban and all the coaches, everybody that was through him, I said, yes, he's big, but he's our best athlete.
Yeah, without a doubt.
He was our best athlete. And Nick, I remember we were getting ready to play a playoff game, and Nick Saban flew in to watch the game and everything else, and Nick was like, what do you mean he's our best athlete? So we were getting ready to run our offense, to warm up and everything else. So I called Panay over and I said, hey, Panay, come here. I said, go in at quarterback and run this play. He goes in, does the play. So, okay, throw this one. Drops back, throws it. I said, okay, go back to tackle. Nick Saban looked at me and I said, told you, he's our best athlete. I mean, he's a phenomenal football player. He's a better person, and that's what I like, and the whole family is that way.
Did he have every college after him?
He had every college, yeah. He had his pick of every college.
Ooh, yeah. That's hard to turn Saban down.
But here's the thing, and this is the truth for everybody that's going through the recruiting process and everything else. He literally fell in love with the coaching staff at Oregon and felt when he came back, he just felt that was the right for him. Just the whole dynamics of how everything came about.
It's amazing to watch that happen.
Yeah, and it's great that as a young man he could realize that and make a great choice and had a great time, and now his brother's there. And as I said, Nephi's at University of Utah. He's there, so it's great. Noah's now at Noah Sewell is the linebacker. Nephi's at Utah, so
wow,
it's all good. And
see, it's a feather in your hat, Jay.
Yeah, and Gabe Jr., the oldest one, is looking to catch on with the team. He was a linebacker at Nevada, so amazingly talented people, but great family, great parents. Can't say enough about them.
Jay, we both played. You played at a much higher level than I did, but isn't it a thrill to coach kids and see them excel?
It is, and it's fun, especially at the high school level, because you've done it. You've got the kids that that can excel, but I got just as much, if not more, joy out of the kid that wasn't sure and then all of a sudden figured it out during a game and had success.
Yeah.
He's never going to go on beyond it.
Yeah.
But he had success and he felt like he could contribute.
Yeah.
To me, that was great joy because it's a kind of a growing up, maturing process, and to watch him do that. And I love that aspect of it.
And they never forget that moment.
No, they never. You got kids, when something happens on the baseball field or on the football field, and then they make that play and they look over like, I just did that. And you're like, yeah, you do. Come on, let's go. So it's a lot of fun to coach them, and I miss it. I'll have to get back to it.
Yeah, no doubt. Now in high school, you probably had a great moment you had here. And then, of course, you went to college and had a great moment that was here. But then you had the pros, and wait a minute, this is even better, right?
Well, it just keeps building on it. And, it's part of what drives you to be an athlete. You set goals and you start to reach some goals. And then, I had some great moments in high school. And literally I had people tell me, well, you can't play in college. Because John Elway's in this, we're playing against John Elway in high school. And, I get it, right? And, he's throwing it all around the yard. And I was like, well, don't tell me I can't do something.
Yeah.
Right? So you go play college ball and, you have some success there. And then was fortunate enough to play in the NFL.
Yeah, because you guys are very parallel. People don't realize that. There's a lot of parallelity between you two.
Yep.
Him at Granada Hills, you at Palisades, Stanford, UCLA, Broncos. Really, you were rivals throughout the whole thing.
Throughout our whole career. Yeah, it was kind of fun.
Wow. Are you friends with John?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. We get along, just fine. It's funny because, you compete. There was really only one time, and I can't blame him if I put myself in that situation. My first start for the Raiders was up in Denver because Mike Shanahan was the coach, and I had been with the Raiders for a grand total of like 10 days, so I'm starting the Monday night game, and it is 24-0 Broncos at halftime.
Wow.
Okay, and I'm out there, and I'm trying to make audibles, and I'm using Redskin terminology, and guys are looking at me, and I'm like, because you get caught up in the moment, right? And Mike Shanahan says, okay, what do you feel good about? We made some adjustments, and we actually came back and won the game 30-24.
Wow.
So it was quite a game.
So at halftime, this occurred. Tell me, people don't know what happens at halftime. I mean, you and I have been in a locker room. I haven't been in a pro locker room at halftime, but is there a lot of yelling going on, or is it a lot of correction going on?
Both.
Both.
It all depends. I've been in locker rooms where you've been reamed up and down. And I've been in locker rooms where it's like, okay, here's the corrections we need to make. And it varies week to week and coach by coach.
Yeah, I
Okay.
imagine you've seen some stuff fly then.
Oh, yeah. So, and Mondays when, we used to have the old film canisters, those would go flying off the wall. Coach would throw those. And
Oh, my gosh.
oh, yeah. I mean, well, it's a serious deal.
It is.
You're going to compete. You're trying to compete at the highest level, and you got to take the good and the bad.
Yeah, I would say, a lot of people, for example, when Antonio Brown pulled out the camera,
Yeah.
I mean, wow, would that have flown with some of your coaches?
No, and it wouldn't have flown with a lot of my teammates. I mean, in fact, I'll go out on the limb and say all of the teammates back in my time, because the locker room was the locker room.
It's not the world to
It's
see.
it's not for the world to see what goes on there. So a lot of trust was broken at that point. And actually, I was watching that game, and I watched that, when he did that live, and I said he won't be there long
Wow, and sure enough, that's what
because
happened.
the trust is broken. That's a sacred spot, and the coach has got to feel like, it's hard enough to keep the press out of it, with the press doing it. But if you're going to go out there and throw it out there live, it's really tough.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now, game balls, they give these after the game.
Yep.
So you must have a whole bunch of them.
I got a few of them. Yeah, I do have a few of them. Yep. They're nice mementos. They take the ball from the game and they write on them. Put a sticky note or something or tape on them, and then they paint a panel. A lot of the teams will paint a panel on it, and it'll have the score of the game and who it was, and it'll say game ball presented to.
Wow.
So they're pretty cool. I mean, I'll have to bring one in.
Yeah,
and-
that'd be
and show
great.
you. And show
Yeah,
you. But they're pretty cool.
Any preference? Was a Redskin ball better than a Raider ball, or was it a Raider
No,
ball?
it was just nice getting game balls because that means you won the game.
Absolutely.
So that was the number one object,
Yeah.
to win the games and all that. So it was great. Probably the most memorable one was the first night that I came in and replaced Joe and threw a couple of touchdown passes against the Giants and got a game ball that night. So
Nice.
that was very nice.
Yeah, I was it nicer playing a Monday night or Sunday?
You know what? Here's the thing. It's funny. We were talking ahead of time. I hate being late, and I'm a morning person.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So when I played on the East Coast and for the Redskins, Monday night games don't start till 9 p.m.
Wow.
9 o'clock at night, and I'm like, it's like forever trying to get this game.
Yeah.
And for us being players, Sunday comes around, you go to chapel, you go to breakfast, you get on the bus, you go to the stadium, and you go. Well, on Mondays, you've got this lag time of 5-6 hours in the middle of the day, and you're just driving yourself crazy. And you start amping up a little too early, so you got to really watch it.
Well, you are one of Arizona's favorite sons because you were a quarterback there. Why don't we go to Arizona because we have our man, Big Ben Garcia.
Big Ben,
Big
Hey,
Ben.
you guys ready? You guys can hear me?
we
Yeah.
can hear you. You're live, man.
I'm really, really ecstatic that he decided to wear his Dodgers hat today, and I came on with my Diamondback shirt. I know we're not going to talk
Wow.
about that, but I'm happy that I was able to at least balance the power for sure, at least.
Hey,
Did you lose
Ben,
did you lose a
Ben,
bet?
you know what? My partner in crime here got me this hat on a trip to L.A.
Was it like a gag gift?
No. Wow. You better watch it. You got two LA guys right here, so you better watch
Hey,
it.
listen, I'm America's honesty broker. You guys bring
Okay.
me on because you guys want to hear the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Yes.
Okay. All
yes.
right. Well,
Yeah.
wait a minute. What does this hat say? What is
That
this?
says World Series Dodgers.
And
Everyone knows
What's
6
the
game season
Diamondbacks
doesn't count.
records? What's the Diamondback record?
Not great right now. All right,
Oh,
not great.
wow.
It's a rebuilding year. That's what we're looking forward to right now.
Okay.
All right,
okay.
you guys want to jump into some? You guys already said a little bit about the Cardinals. Let it in there. You want to jump into some Cardinals draft talk?
Yeah, the Cardinals.
Wow, are you trying to dodge that one? Yeah, let's get into the Cardinals. So what's going on what's going on down there with the Cardinals and draft picks?
We talked a little bit about this, and it's something that I really want to bring up again with you guys. And I'm curious to see, especially, you guys at least have some, maybe not as much as me because I'm down here and I'm more dialed in with it as it goes on. But I would ask you guys, what do you guys think about the Cardinals' draft position now? What would you say that they need? And then I'll kind of bounce it back off.
Well, we talked about this last week a little bit. Yes, they need a slot receiver. Okay, they picked up a couple of running backs this week, so I think they're going to solidify themselves there. They need another top receiver because we talked about it. Larry's great, but Larry's getting old. It's it's time to have somebody come in and fill that void. And defensive help. Everybody's looking for corners. Corner. I'll be honest. Corner's probably the hardest position to play in the NFL. There's no question.
Here's something that I would say is really important to that. This is a division with Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, and Russell Wilson. No, I'm not going to put Pete Carroll in that, but I'll say Russell Wilson. These are guys that have high-flying offenses that can put 40 points on the board in a second. So I guess I would say Caleb Farley, he's my graded corner. What would you say? Caleb Farley's on the board. Let's say in a dream scenario, Jalen Waddle, Caleb Farley is on the board. What would you guys do?
Whew.
The reason why I say that is because
I'd go with Farley, the corner.
And the reasoning why I say that is because we all know this. We could throw out every mock draft in the world, but we know that there's going to be a absolute run on quarterbacks. As soon as those first two go, 3, 4, 5, people are going to be trading up. It'd be foolish for us not to think so. We're going to have someone drop. We already know Caleb Farley's got some injury issues.
Right. And
so we could see him drop. And then Jalen Waddle, he's not Jamar Chase, and he's not Kyle Pitts. Right. We could see him drop because of the run on quarterbacks. So it's an question that I wanted to phrase to both of you. Waddle, Smith, or Farley, whichever one of those wide receivers is left on the board, and then Farley. Are the Cardinals that bad at cornerback, I guess I would say?
No, I wouldn't.
Agree so.
Well, I don't think they're that bad, but they're not where they need to be. You're correct. This is a passing league, and you've got to have corners. If you're going to play, you've got to have corners. You got to have a pass rush, and you got to have corners. And if you don't have either, you're going to get scorched for 40. It's just, because the way the game is built. So you picked up J.J. Watt. He's there, so hopefully you get a little bit more in the pass rush. I would go for the corner. In today's football, corners are very valuable.
Extremely. Farley, I like Farley.
Yeah.
Why not go for Farley, Ben? Why not?
Just the injury history he had. He just got with surgery on his back. Something that, someone at 20, I have some back issues, and that means he's got it worse than I do.
Right.
Some days it's hard. So how many times is that really ready to hold? I know he's a 22-year-old guy, but is it really hold up for 5-6 seasons? Because we're drafting you in the 16th overall pick. We're expecting you to produce. Maybe not in the first year. It's very hard and a different adjustment. But in the next year, is Caleb Farley a guy you're willing to put your risk in?
Well,
Steve Kleiman has a bad history of drafting.
Okay, but I'm going to answer you this. Under the rookie contract, yes. Because it doesn't cost you that much. Because you got them locked in. You got them locked in under the rookie contract. So here's what they're gambling on. You get him locked in for those first 4 or 5 years underneath that rookie contract, and if he does do well, then you pay the man, okay? Because then he's going to demand big money. If he's not, you're really not out that much because of the rookie contract status. That's just, a perfect example is Darnold. That's why the Panthers picked him up. He's got 1 year to prove himself before they got to really
picked up his option.
Yeah, before they pick up his option on his rookie year, and so that's why they'll do it. That would make sense to me at least, because they're under the rookie contract, and it's really not that big of a. There's a great upside, not that bad of a salary hit.
Yeah.
Continue, Rich.
No. I look. The Cardinals, I think, are in a situation where really they're battling the Rams and the Seahawks in this
Yeah.
division. Now, 49ers are going to bounce back. I think.
It's the best division in football, for sure.
It is. It's
Yeah.
tough. It's tough. This is a tough division.
Yeah.
Stafford comes in. They have to win right now. The Rams have to win right now. There's no 5-year plan here.
Well, let me ask you this too, Ben, because I am that guy. So when do the Cardinals shore up that offensive line?
It's something that was patchwork last year.
Yeah.
They found diamond in the rough in Kelvin Beachum, who came out and started, I believe, 14 games and produced well. Is that going to happen again? It's offensive line is so much coaching to me, I believe. And after the Cardinals last year hired Sean Kugler, who is an elite offensive line coach, he really took an offensive line that was terrible the year before and turned them in to mediocre. It's incredibly hard to do in the NFL because you're having these guys block Aaron Donald for 2 games. One year it was Jadeveon Clowney, who you could say hit or miss there. Leonard Floyd on the Rams as well. And it's just one of those things that we'll see. You know, there was a big topic here in Arizona where Kyler Murray might have been throwing some shade, if you will, in the Cardinals way, where he kept on retweeting things and commenting things just very subtly. Wow, who was the Buccaneers offensive Tristan Wirfs. He was very, very, oh man, Tristan Wirfs. Tristan Wirfs this, Tristan Wirfs that. Retweeting only specifically offensive linemen's tape. So is that a message that he's sending? That's a really good point that you're saying. If I'm Kyler Murray, he hasn't really gotten hurt yet. But if he does, I still would right now, either way, if he got hurt or not, march into Steve Keim's office and not say what I want as a team and say, look, I've got 5 years here. Because look at guys like Luck. Luck was built like a statue.
Right.
He gets out of the league because of it.
I will tell you
and
this.
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. 2 years ago, when they first got Kyler Murray, I was at an Arizona game for an alumni weekend down there, and they were playing Pittsburgh, and the man was running for his life. I mean, Pittsburgh, it was 2 years ago, was coming through that offensive line like nobody's business. It was ridiculous. So they did make some strides, but for me, they need a corner. I think they felt like they helped themselves up front with J.J. Watt. Now they got to get a couple of corners, but they definitely need one, if not 2, linemen that they can throw out there and say, let's go, because that was the patchwork.
They got a guy in Josh Jones last year to them in the 3rd round, which people fall for a reason. Not all the time is someone a guy that fell, and he's Russell Wilson, he's DK Metcalf, he's Tom Brady. It's very rare that happens.
Correct.
Josh Jones looks like he's been doing really well in training camps before and coming in and slowly working him, and he's a guy that could get moved over to tackle. He plays guard right now. Beacham's coming back. That's the biggest thing, is there's continuity now with the offensive line, and that's a big deal as well. You know, it's a big year for the Cardinals. The Cardinals don't make playoffs this year. Everyone from the towel boy all the way up to Steve is out of there because they're clean.
Yeah.
Because you can't give a coach like Cliff Kingsbury 3 seasons. That's 3 chances, and then Steve Keim however many chances. Who he's a dealer, but he's an atrocious drafter. So it really is one of those things where even if he picks the guy that you and I have graded highly, we're still like, we'll see. We'll see how this pans out.
Pick the kicker.
All right. Well, before we wrap up here with you, Ben, we got to talk about the hot topic, because just announced today the Raiders are not going to do the voluntary workouts. The players had said no. What's going on down there in Arizona? These teams, I think there's 6 or 7 teams now where the players, and they're going COVID. It's not COVID. It's in response to the 17th game.
Oh man.
So let's be honest with this a little bit here.
Jay, I haven't heard that angle. That is really, really, really fascinating that you would say that. That could be a real protest to the 17th game, which, just throwing this out there, one of the worst things you could have done for the NFL was add another game. But that's neither here nor there. You know, this is something that I'm going to talk about as well on my podcast, the Daily Desert Podcast, on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Throw that plug in there.
There you go.
And it's a big thing that I had seen as well, too. Is this something that we're going to – the players don't understand either. these injuries as well that got that happened are because, at least in my theory, because they didn't have OTAs, because they weren't showing up for voluntary workouts,
no
because
question.
of all these COVID things last year. Now these players are saying COVID. You can't make them show up. No one will side with you there, and it's something that, I haven't heard anything in Cardinal land. I don't know what they're going to do here, but it is a real thing because I know the Buccaneers aren't doing it,
Right.
which means Tom Brady's going to be mad because he's
Yeah.
a guy that throws.
He's a worker. Tom Brady is a worker. He's a grinder. He wants
got
to be
it
out
from
there
me.
all the time. And it's and the problem and here's Bruce Arians said it the other day when Tampa Bay announced they weren't going to do it. Bruce Arians said it. He said, "This has nothing to do with the veteran players. This is all about the young kids not getting an opportunity to show what they can do." Because it is hard to come into training camp, learn a new system, and just go play and be a football player.
Yeah.
You've got to learn the terminology. You've got to know where the coach wants you before you can relax enough to go out and play.
Do you like the 17th game?
I don't like the 17th game. Okay.
And it's going to affect many records over time,
Oh, it's
right?
going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be ridiculous, and here's my theory, because of the way the last 4 or 5 years have gone, teams that have clinched don't play the last weeks 15 and 16 anyway.
Right.
So
right.
now what they've done with the 17th game is they've made these highlight games.
Yes.
And you're like, who wants to play that before you're going into a playoff?
Exactly. It's
You
not
know?
even like it's a cupcake game.
No,
The Cardinals
they-
are playing the Browns.
Right.
The Browns are going to win their division this year. And it's
They've made the crossover match and made some unbelievable, matchups in this thing, and it's
they really went Hollywood with it and went storylines because at least the Cardinals Browns angle, battle of Oklahoma quarterbacks. Let's see who's got it here. And it's something that the NFL almost should feel really ashamed about because none of their spokes players wanted to play this game. And it was all the younger guys because the average time in the NFL is 3 years. It's these guys that are just trying to make more money. The NFL should have really thought about it. I've talked to players like Tony Jefferson of the Ravens and of the former Cardinal as well, and he told me the same thing. He said he didn't like it. It was
well. Let me tell you something, and I'll go out there on record. I'm done and all that. We had Monday night games and we had Sunday games. Then you had a Saturday playoff games. I never played on a Thursday. Okay. When you hear the NFL office say we're doing everything we can to protect players, that's a bunch of baloney. Because
Right.
if you're playing on a Sunday, a football game in the NFL, and you got to turn around and play on Thursday,
you're having players that are playing half
Right.
concussed. How is
Exactly.
that safe?
Yeah, not
a
safe.
guy that tweaks an ankle or tweaks a knee, and you're out there, and you're like, what do you expect him to do? Other than your body doesn't have time to recoup. And here's what I found, and one of the reasons I retired when I did is I would go to games. I would go from Sunday to Sunday, and I'll be honest with you. There was times when I walked in on a Sunday morning to get ready to play a football game. I couldn't bend over and touch my toes. I could barely get down halfway down my shins, and I'd walk into the training room at the Cardinals, and I'd go, I probably need to bend a little farther before somebody hits me because
Right.
I'll snap in half.
Wow.
So as you get older, you've got injury on top of injury, and your body just doesn't recover. So this whole thing of taking care of the players. Do they know more? Are they more educated? Yes, no doubt. But when you're playing Monday, Thursday, it's
tough.
It's also
There's-
just an oversaturation of the market.
Exactly.
You're adding a 17th game. You've already got, and you have Saturday season, and it's just, I would say, just not good. The reason why I haven't in 10 years is one game Sunday night. This game, if you lose week, it could be the reason why you don't make the playoff. That is
Right.
what's beautiful about the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. I mean,
No doubt.
Well, Ben, another great week with you, and we're looking forward to next week. We'll get into
We
the
need all the inside
Diamondbacks.
scoop on the draft next week, Ben.
The draft, the Diamondbacks. We're ready for you.
Oh, you're gonna make work, which I've already done.
Okay, there you go.
We got a chair for
Hey,
you if you're
I
ever in
appreciate-
Vegas.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Ben.
All right, Ben. Thank you. Wow. Ben comes through with his Cardinal wisdom.
Cardinal wisdom again. So if you got any questions, if you want to hear more about the Cardinals, you can call us in 855-502-4321. That's our number here in the studio. So hit us up and let us know what you're thinking.
You know, we were talking about the 17th game. Okay, so we saw in our lifetime O.J. Simpson break Jim Brown's record in 14 games. Then we saw Eric Dickerson break O.J.'s record. And then we saw, was it Adrian Peterson? Somebody broke.
Yeah, somebody's up there.
Yeah, somebody after that. It may have been Marshall. It may have been LaDainian. But they all broke the record. So now we have 17 games. And, of course, somebody will break that record. And 2,000 will be nothing now, right?
Well, I mean, let's take the Tennessee Titans, Henry, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking 17 games. So if you run for 100 yards in each game, that's 17.
Right there.
Right there. Right? And, you know, back in my day, a 100-yard rusher, that's what you wanted. Well, you got 17. Well, you know, there's games when those guys go for 200 when they have a big day. So you get a couple of those or you get 4 games at 150, you're at 2,000.
That's the norm now.
Yeah, you know, so it's going to mess with the records. And, you know, we talked about this last week, too, is that's why you've got to go kind of decade by decade and look where what the rules were when they changed and evaluate everybody from that point.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And then of course the passing records and so forth, and
right.
Of course it looks like Brady has the touchdown record.
Yeah, he's going to have that because Drew Brees has retired. So
wow, what a good race that was.
Where
do you fall in the passing record?
Where do I fall? Oh, I'm way down the list. I'm not even close.
But you had a big arm, and you were hitting Mervin and Tim Brown.
No, not even close. I'm way down the record. I was fortunate enough to play and win a Super Bowl with Washington and have some great success. Better off all the memories of playing and the guys I got to play with.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Sam Grady, Mervin Fernandez, Tim Brown. Who am I missing? Willie Gault.
Willie Gault
are all on the line. Who wins a 50-yard dash?
Whew. Well, 50-yard dash, I'm going to say Bo Jackson.
Bo will beat those guys.
In a 50.
Really?
In 100, it's going to be, well, Sam Grady's got a gold medal from the relay team. Willie's got...
It's unreal.
You know, I mean, Willie could run. So it's going to be close between the two of those guys. Because, I mean, we literally, on the Raiders teams, we could have made 2 4x4 teams and probably finished second and third to our USA team.
No doubt.
I mean, it was crazy, the speed that we had. Because we had Terry McDaniel on defense, you know, and Lionel Washington on defense. They could flat run. You know, it was crazy, the amount of speed that we had.
Roger Craig, any fast?
Not top speed spies.
Yeah, and you got him at the end.
Yeah, I got him at the end. Yeah.
Wow, unreal times, Jay.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
All right, let's jump to baseball because the Dodgers, as you know, are starting the hottest team in baseball. Which you and I said, who's going to beat them? Who's going to beat them? What are they? 12-2, 11-2,
12-2 or 11-2, something like that.
Just scoring, pitching is great.
Yeah.
Kershaw's beating Scherzer.
How about that
Bauer,
game?
Yeah.
How about that game?
Yeah.
Huh? That was fun to watch if you're a baseball purist.
Oh yeah.
2 guys working their craft, and I was excited to see Kershaw do well because his first outing he wasn't sharp.
Right.
The opening day he wasn't sharp. So,
I don't think many people thought he was going to beat Scherzer.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't think so either. So, but they're playing well, and again, the Dodgers, just like last year, they got the role player.
Yeah.
You know, they got the role players.
Oh, this number 8. What's his name?
McCriffy. Something, yeah. But he's stepping in. He's playing all over the place. Lux has come through with some big hits now and then.
Kiki Jaku, right?
Yeah, you know, so they've got some good things going on and everything else. So, again, that's what you need as far as, you know, everybody coming off the bench. But all around good play. Both catchers are playing well and hitting the ball. Yeah. I'm a little surprised. And I think everybody else in the league is surprised, too, at the Padres pitching. Because they went big time.
Yeah.
They went big time on the pitchers. And, of course, you know, Musgraves the other day throwing the no-hitter is a
who
big
would have
one.
expected that?
But Snell got shelled the other day, and he got taken out early, and he was not happy camper.
No.
I mean, he was like, you know, and I get it. That's a guy that's proven himself that's like, let me go battle.
Yeah.
I know I don't have my good stuff, but I'm going to go battle. And the manager was like, no, you're out. And he was like, he came out in the dugout like, dude,
He strikes me as a guy that will get traded again.
He probably will.
Just
He
I think
probably
it's
won't.
just that attitude.
It-
But
it-
it's a want to win attitude. you know?
That's the thing. And I am not going to fault a guy for wanting to compete.
right.
I'll never fault him, and it's hard. He gets the ball once every 5 days. He wants to go, and sometimes you got your rights, the good stuff, and sometimes you don't. But that doesn't mean you don't battle.
Yeah.
I mean, he's there because he's battled, and so that'll be an interesting team to watch. Because hey, we talked about it all offseason. Padres loaded themselves up, so it's going to be a good battle. We got a long way to go, so
Yeah, no.
they can definitely turn it around.
So right now, I think between the Dodgers and it looks like the White Sox in the American League, looks like they're on fire.
They're on fire. Let's talk about that. I mean, if you got a question with the White Sox, please call us 855-502-4321. Very interesting dynamic. Oldest manager in the league and one of the youngest teams.
Yeah, Tony La Russa.
I mean,
Unbelievable.
and when they first hired Tony La Russa, I questioned it, because he's been out of the game and it's changed.
yeah.
But
And
kudos,
why did he come back?
yeah, but kudos to him. They seem to be working out, and they got Abreu is just phenomenal. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a phenomenal player.
Oh,
so, they got some.
Grandal behind the plate,
Yeah.
the Dodger, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, good team.
Good team.
Now teams that fell off the cliff, Cleveland, is just they don't have anything. I mean, just they lost their two pitchers, Carrasco and Bauer.
Yeah.
Lindor's in New York got the big deal.
Got the big deal. Struggling a little bit, but he'll
Yeah.
get it. He's too good a player to struggle.
So I feel bad. City of Cleveland has that team. They get so close and then they just go. "Root."
It's funny because you mentioned they were really close, and everybody was pulling for him.
Sure.
Everybody was pulling for
Yeah.
him.
Ever since Eddie Murray was there, remember?
Yeah.
And it's, hey, they're
It's
coming
like,
around.
let's go. It's one of those cities where they're probably not your favorite team unless you live in Cleveland. But when when the Browns get to the playoffs and the Indians are close, everybody kind of like, come on, guys, come on, because you want to see. I always like, you got the Dodgers, you got the Yankees, and when they win, you're like, well, they should win. Their
supposed to.
payroll tells you they should win, and that's good. But you always like the guys that, are grinding it out to come and compete with them and say,
yeah.
hey, look, we belong here. And it's fun to see the Cleveland Indians. So hopefully we get that. Another team, that's fun that I enjoyed last year was the Marlins. They got in there, and you were like, "Who's on the Marlins?" You're like, "I got no idea. Let me Google and find out."
And it shows Mattingly, he's a very good coach.
Yeah.
He didn't win right away with the Dodgers, so he was
It's a
out.
different situation.
he
Yeah,
was out.
Dodgers. You
gotta
don't get a grace period with the Dodgers.
I mean, look how many guys they went through. Joe Torre even.
Yeah.
Grady Little. How long did he last? He didn't last very long.
No.
But Glenn Hoffman even tried it. Just a lot of guys that didn't get it. So
Well, I think they missed the mark on Socha.
I do too. I agree 100%.
Okay, as long as we're on agreement, I thought.
And he was mad about that.
Yeah, he was.
And
He
he's
was.
back. He's back in the fold.
Bold, yeah.
He shows up now, and it's good to see him back in his number 14 jersey
Yeah.
from time to time.
Yeah.
I still got this gut feeling in my soul that he will be the manager of the Dodgers one day.
You think so? You think he'll come back?
I just got this feeling. Now, I'm not saying Roberts is going anywhere right now, but I just think he could be the next manager.
I'm not sure if he'll be the manager. I think he'll be the president of the Dodgers.
Something.
He'll be involved. He'll
Yeah.
be involved.
'Cause
He's too good a guy, and he yes, he spent decades with the Angels as the manager, but he's the Dodger Blue guy.
Think about the Murdoch years.
Yeah.
He messed the relationship up with Socha, Piazza.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go on and on. A lot of
Yeah.
guys. But, now those guys have all come back, except really Piazza. He came for a second to say, thanks for, I'm in the Hall of Fame.
And truth be told, Mike Piazza came back because of Tommy Lasorda.
Yes. I think otherwise he
Otherwise, he would have never come back.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Tommy. So now that Tommy is unfortunately not around, that's going to be a tough task.
It is.
gonna be a tough
I
ask.
really think Piazza doesn't care about the Dodgers
No.
in the back of his mind.
No.
It's all about the Mets.
Yeah, all about the Mets. So
And it's really unfortunate. He had great years with the Dodgers.
he did have great years, but he may have had one of the all-time best moments in baseball with the Mets.
Yes.
You know, when
That-
they opened back up after 9/11 and came back and, you know, hit
the
that
home
home run.
Yeah, unreal. You know, you're talking about all these great players. You know, so many Dodger players have left the Dodgers and moved on to great things, really. Bill Buckner was a great player.
Yep.
You know that, and I know that. He had one ball go through his legs with the Red Sox at the end of his career.
And that's all people talk about.
That's all they talk. It drives me nuts because the guy was a batting champion.
Yep.
With two teams.
Yeah.
Dodgers and the Cubs.
Cubs, yeah.
People forget that. You know, and then he went to the Royals and he did well.
Okay, so let's talk about that. When are we going to get back to real baseball? Guys hitting it all around the yard instead of just trying to jack it up the yard every day, every play.
You know, you and I grew up in an era where we had to hit the ball all over the field, right?
Right.
Hey, Jay, hit it to right field.
If
Jay.
you didn't hit 300, you weren't on.
Oh yeah.
And now they're saying we don't care if you hit 300. We just want you to try to hit 40 balls out.
Launch angle.
Launch angle and all this.
Isn't that
I
crazy?
do have to tell you, I can't remember who was playing, but I jumped for joy. I was watching a game this week, and it went to the 10th inning, and they had the shift on, and the first batter came up, put it down third base.
Nice.
Okay, so now they got first and third, nobody out. Next guy, base hit, they scored. Next guy bunts both guys over again. So now they got second. They scored 3 runs by playing little ball.
Right.
And the other team got up there and was swinging away and everything else. It was over in the 10th. And I was like, yes!
Yeah,
You
that's
know, 'cause
baseball.
let me tell you, folks, bunting a baseball is an art.
It is.
It's an art. And you and I grew up with probably the best ever to do it in Rod Carew.
Oh,
People
yeah.
don't understand. Not only was he a phenomenal hitter, that guy could put a bunt down wherever
Oh, yeah.
he wanted.
Yeah.
It was an art form to watch him
Remember
do.
Garvey would pull it every
Yeah,
once in a while.
Steve Garvey would put one down.
It's unreal.
But that's how the game has changed.
Yeah.
You know, and the other way the game has changed too is, you know, you got a guy on second base, and they got the shift on, and you're a dead pull hitter. We would have.
Oh yeah.
Our managers would have come unglued. That ball's got to go to that side of the field, some way, somehow.
Yeah.
You know, and these guys are trying to pull outside pitches still, and I'm like, man.
And I saw Mookie Betts do it the other day.
Yeah.
They shifted and he hit it
He
down
hit
the
it the
right
other
field.
way, yeah.
I said, there you go.
Yeah. So it's been a couple of years with the shift, and you're seeing more and more guys this year,
Yeah.
kind of going back to, hey. So I think we're kind of moving back to
Yeah,
seeing what we
I think
can do.
the more things change, the more they start to be the same. you
Right.
know? I mean, Pete Rose even bunted. And that's what made him great. I'd love to get Pete in here to talk baseball. Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be awesome.
There's a chair for you, Pete.
Come on, Pete. Come on.
We should go find him and
We got to
and
find
get
him. He's
in
around
there.
here somewhere.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right, so if you have a question for Jay or you have a question about anything we're talking about, feel free to give us a call, 702-329-6947, or toll free, 855-502-4321, and press number 1, and you'll get right through to us.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm looking forward to it. We are live right here in Las Vegas. I'm Rich Perez. Jay Schrader, of course, the great quarterback of the NFL, Redskins and Raiders. And wearing that ring,
Got a little ring. Yep.
the Dodger ring compared to this ring is like too big.
I don't know how they wear them.
How can they wear that?
I don't know how they wear them, but I will have to tell you, you know, everybody's talking about the great summer that L.A. had last year. The guy who had a great summer was Magic Johnson.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He
Come
picked
on
up two
now.
rings.
He picked up 2 rings. I'm like, wow. I mean,
I wonder how many he has. Think about that. He won his
you're right.
NCAA title.
Yep.
Then he won his with Kareem and Worthy. Then he won with Kobe and Shaq. And then,
Yeah.
I mean, he was all involved.
He was been involved. So
And then he
it's,
just won with
So Magic,
LeBron.
Magic, man, way to go. I mean, it's
Oh, my
impressive.
gosh.
And let me tell you something. Couldn't be a nicer person.
Yes,
He,
I agree.
He could not be a nicer person. And, you know, the fun thing about Magic is doesn't matter how long it's been since he's seen you, that smile comes out. And it's great. He's a terrific human being.
Wow.
So-
Yeah. Unreal. Unreal. You know, we got a caller actually.
Oh, nice.
All right. How are you? This is Rich Perez and Jay Schrader. How can we help you?
Hey, I wanted to ask Jay Shader, who do you think's the best quarterback in the draft right this year?
Draft
Besides Trevor Lawrence, I guess.
Besides Trevor Lawrence, okay, Trevor Lawrence is the overall number one. The quarterback
Yeah.
that I think the quarterback that has the most potential and upside is Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
You don't think Trey Lance?
No.
Really?
I don't think so. I think Fields has the most upside of anybody coming up there. So I think he'll be the guy. Trey Lance is going to be good. I'm concerned about his durability. I really am. I think that I think he's a little slight body compared to the other guys.
So
But he's a heck of a talent, no question about it.
where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Calgary, Alberta.
Nice.
Calgary,
nice.
Alberta.
Mark Ripken was born. Mark Ripken.
Yeah, and I spent the summer playing baseball there. I was actually my first year with Toronto. I was based in Medicine Hat, and we used to come in and play in Calgary. So
Yeah, that's right. They had their
I think it was the
Double-A
Expos
team there.
Yeah, I think they had the Expos back then. So yeah,
Well, we're international.
Oh no,
Jay.
the AAA team they had was the Mariners. They're Calgary, Canada. There.
so but that was a long time ago. So I'm talking 1980 when I was back there. So it was a while ago.
geez.
But yeah, it was fun. Got to travel around there. Beautiful country, by the way. So well, thank you for joining us from Calgary.
Yeah.
Are you under snow up there?
No.
Oh,
But
there
there's
you
some
go.
snow on the ground. But
Okay.
It's not that bad.
Okay.
So where'd you
Thanks,
catch
Jay.
us? On Facebook, Instagram?
Twitter.
Twitter.
Beautiful,
Nice.
beautiful.
Wonderful.
All right.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. And fire up. Any more questions? You got any more questions for us?
Yeah, I just got one more. Who throws the best deep ball of the quarterbacks?
Right now, Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Oh well, no, I meant sorry, in the draft there.
Oh, in
of
the
quarterbacks
draft?
In the draft. Yeah.
Whew. That's a good question.
Because it seems like these guys are all runners now. you know?
Well, they are, but I think that's probably why Trevor Lawrence would get the nod.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think his accuracy down the field is probably
It's about your height, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a big kid. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's I think he's 6'5", and all that, and he's got that long flowing hair. I remember those days, long gone. But I think Trevor throws it because he actually throws a ball. He throws a nice tight spiral, so on the deep balls that makes it a lot easier to catch. So I'm going to say Trevor.
Who'd be second then?
Probably Fields.
Really?
Yeah. Fields has got an exceptionally strong arm, so yeah, it'll be interesting.
I heard that was the contrary. No,
Okay.
I thought Justin Fields that they were worried about.
I think his arm
Really?
is strong enough. Let me tell you something. There's guys that threw deep balls, that couldn't throw it that far, but if you get it up in time, and let's be honest, Zach Wilson can throw it too. So it's
Yeah.
going to be interesting to watch these kids come out and see how quickly they gravitate. And I think Trevor's going to have success early. I think Zach Wilson going to the Jets is going to struggle early. It's kind of the history pattern going there. So it's a tale of two different cities going there. We'll see what happens. Thanks for calling.
Cool. Yeah.
Hey,
no
all
worries.
right.
Thanks.
All
Thank
right.
you. All right. Fabulous. Calgary, Alberta,
Calgary,
Canada.
Alberta. Yeah.
Wow, we're global, everybody. If
Look at that.
you're in London, England, give us a call. We want to hear from you.
I got some friends over there.
Yeah, did you get to play any games over there?
I did. Played in a game over there, and then I actually went over after my playing days was over and did some works for Sky Sports and actually did the broadcasting for the playoff game. So I've got a lot of people over there.
Are you very much at home in England and in all these other countries? Like, do you feel comfortable?
I do. I
Good.
do. Yeah,
Good.
I don't have a problem traveling and going out. And my buddy Carl Ballman over there, he always calls me up, hey chap. So Carl was the producer over there. So we had a great time, and it was a lot of fun going over there.
Nice. Did you pick up victories? 1-1.
To tell you the truth, I can't even say if we won the game or not because I know that I think I play in London. I think I played a total of 3 plays.
Oh,
It was the first preseason
yeah.
game.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's right. They were doing preseason.
yeah, it was It was a preseason game when I was there, so I think I played the first 3 plays back then. I know we went to Japan and we played the Dolphins in Japan, and Dan Marino and I spent the entire week doing promos around Japan and stuff like that, and had a full house. And between the two of us, we played a total of 6 plays.
Unreal. Wow.
It was like he got 3, I got 3, we're off the field.
Yeah,
So
you guys couldn't get hurt.
We're done. Yeah,
We don't want you
It
getting
was- It was
hurt.
done. So we spent all that time, but it was a lot of fun. Great people, both places, and football's an international game.
Yeah.
It really is, and it's lots of fun to go over there and see people wearing jerseys from all over.
Wow. Jay, you said you went to the stadium early. Okay. It's game day, right? Because a lot of people don't know how this works. You're at a hotel. Do you eat at the hotel? Do you go to the stadium? How does that work?
Well, back when I played, I don't know because some of the facilities and everything else, 90% of the time you eat at the hotel. They have it set up. They have the room. They have their chefs come in and make everything.
So you just show up.
You
they
show up.
Just give your name.
Well, yeah. Well, no, they had a room. We had a room, so
you know where to go.
We know where to go, where to eat. We had a room for chapel or mass or anything like that. And then the coach would usually come in and say, okay, reminder, first bus leaves at such and such, second bus leaves at such and such. I would always take a cab or the first bus because I wanted to get there earlier.
Yeah.
So I needed some extra time to stretch out and get together. So, for a 1 o'clock game, I was usually at the stadium by 9, if not 9:15.
Wow. Well, Krista on Facebook, thank you. She says she's in Detroit. She loves the show.
Awesome.
Javier Salcido, I already know his last name. Wilson High School in the house. All right, that's in L.A. That's
Michigan.
our rival
Let's
school.
shout out to Michigan. My daughter's out there in St. Clair Shores, Michigan. So,
Yeah.
that's where she's at now.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Did you play Wilson at all in high school? Wilson High School?
I don't think – I'm not sure.
They're
I don't
kind of
think
in the
so.
middle of the city on the hill.
Yeah, I don't think we played Wilson. We had Banning and Carson and all the big boys. It was –
Oh, yeah.
It was
You guys
rough.
were like the 4A division.
Yeah.
You weren't talking about these little 3A guys.
Yeah,
No,
we got the big boys, unfortunately.
I think at the time Javier and I were playing, I think we were 4A, but there was a huge disparity between Palisades, Kennedy, all those schools, and Franklin and Wilson.
Yeah.
So
Banning, Carson.
Yeah.
I remember going to Carson one time. I think it was my junior year in high school, and their defensive line was about 310 pounds all the way around. I was like, where do these kids come from? I mean, they were huge.
right.
They were huge, and went over to Banning, and Stanley Wilson was running the ball. I'm like,
yeah.
oh my gosh. It's like,
Well, they've had some great players.
Yeah,
Didn't
they've
Ben
had-
Ferragamo go there as well?
I think so, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so they
So
did-
Michael on Facebook is telling us Fields to San Francisco. You agree?
You know what? I wouldn't be shocked. I think that would be an awesome move. I think, it's funny because, everybody was talking about, the kid from Alabama going and everything else. I think Kyle Shanahan's going to pull one over on us. I agree. I think Fields to San Francisco would be a great move.
Wow. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. Yeah, I want to thank everybody who's watching and
Yeah.
listening. And Jay knows a million people. I think I know 500,000 people. And it's always great to hear from guys that
Yeah,
really
it's great that call in. Yeah.
I mean, you had rivals in high school. Mine was Javier Salcedo, who now we're good friends.
Well,
This is great.
let's just throw it out here. You and I have had many a teammates. Bring it on.
Yeah, bring it.
Come on, bring it,
Yes, we were 4A.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bring it on and tell us, what we actually did in high school that we weren't really all that good.
Oh, yeah. I will tell you this. I struck out, honestly. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 times a year, right? This guy got me twice.
Yeah.
Got me twice. He was a heck of a player, Wilson.
I do know this, because I had the opportunity and because I was big and, I always make fun of playing against John Elway. John Elway had 4 wide receivers and run it out. Well, we had a kid by the name of Romano Robinson at running back, and he scored 34 and 35 touchdowns.
Wow.
I mean, he was a phenomenal athlete. And
Yeah.
we're like, at one point in time, my junior year when I was there, if we got lucky enough and threw the ball down, inside the 10, I would actually call the play and run off, and they'd snap it right to Romano.
Oh,
Single
man.
wing. I was like, okay, I get it,
Yeah, isn't it funny how we saw great players in high
my
school
gosh.
who didn't make it, who could have made it?
Yeah.
I've seen a
And
million of
great
them.
people.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, I got it in high school, Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah.
And he was just a phenomenal human being and turned out to be a phenomenal actor. So it's a lot of fun to look back and see.
So he
what
was
it
in your huddle?
He was in the huddle. Yeah, he played D-line and offensive line for us, but just an all-around great guy, too.
Wow. Well, oh, thank you, Javier. He says
Yeah.
I was a tough out. It was a good year. It was a good year. Good couple years we had there together.
Yeah.
But when you think about how life changes, Jay, in sports and in, just the evolution of everything that goes on. Like I say, it always comes back. Cardinals are wearing blue uniforms again. Phillies are wearing blue uniforms again. It's just that's the way sports are. The appreciation that let's talk about you for a second. The appreciation that the Raider fans have for all their great quarterbacks: Kenny Stabler, Jim Plunkett, yourself, George Blanda, Rich Gannon. Even Hostetler for the couple of years there.
Well, and let's not leave out one that they absolutely beloved that really didn't get the recognition. David Humm.
David Humm. Absolutely. Did you know David?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look at how long Vince Evans was there.
Yeah, Vince Evans, talk about a phenomenal person. Oh, my gosh.
Wow. I mean, this guy, it seemed like he lived on that sideline.
So you're getting old when you roll up as a high school coach and you're getting ready to play the other team, and the other team's star wide receiver is Vince Evans' son.
Wow.
And you're like, okay, now I'm old. Now I'm old. But now all those kids are through high school, through college, got families of their own, and I'm like, what happened? But time doesn't slow down for anybody, my friend.
Oh, yeah. So, Jay, you're at quarterback. Who are your two running backs that you played with somewhere? Could be any two. Who are your two wideouts, and who's your tight end?
Oh, my goodness.
Ooh, this is tough.
Okay, well, the top two wideouts are going to be Art Monk and Tim Brown.
Art Monk and Tim Brown.
Just because they could do everything.
Yes.
Okay, now I've had phenomenal guys, but Art Monk, Tim Brown just did everything.
Yeah.
Tight end-wise, well, I caught him at the end of his career, but as far as a pass catcher, I'd have to go with Todd Christensen.
Okay.
Now, as far as a run blocker, nobody's going to know Donnie Warren was the best run-blocking tight end I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, he was
Warren.
phenomenal at Washington. Running backs, well, that's a tough one. It all depends on what you want to do.
I'll give you 4.
Yeah, okay. You got Marcus and Bo without a question.
Yeah.
Okay, up there. And if you're telling me in his prime, I'll take John Riggins.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, I'll put him up there. The Diesel could flat go, and it's.
Did you have anyone at the Bengals, Cardinals?
Not at that caliber.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this. I'll throw Larry Centers up there.
Yeah. Oh, he was solid.
Well, Larry Centers was,
He was solid.
He was a heck of a player. I
Yeah.
mean, he could run the ball, he could catch it, he could block people. So, hey, Larry was a great guy to have in the huddle with the Cardinals. So, yeah, I'll throw Larry out there. I've got no problem with that.
Yeah, no, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Wow. And so anyway, if you're interested in supporting the show, you can email info@golive.vegas. Stay tuned for the premiere show with Jada and Malik. The Source is coming up next, Jay.
Yeah, how about that? So,
Any last thoughts, words of wisdom, Jay? Because you've seen it all. You're out on the golf course. You're doing your thing with Ganser and his guys. Tell me what this is all about.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you touched on it, the different uniforms, everything coming back, that nothing better than the brown of the Padres and the old Atlanta Brave uniforms.
I love the Brave
Oh,
uniform.
my gosh, the white uniforms.
I want to buy one of those.
Oh, my gosh.
We should buy one and wear it in here.
Dale Murphy, right?
Hank Aaron, Dusty Baker,
yeah,
Ralph Garr,
oh,
Darrell
man.
Evans.
Wearing those things, little Butler running around out there.
Oh,
with
yeah.
I mean, come on. Those are the best. So, yes,
I
bring
love
back
it.
the oldies. They're good.
Yeah, I love it. Dodgers really don't have an old uniform, but I see their old creamy-looking
Okay,
uniform.
by the way, because you commented on your Instagram, the gold, no.
Yeah, no good.
No.
The gold is out.
The gold's got to go. Sorry.
All right, Jay Schrader. Thank you again, my friend.
Thank you. Here it goes. An hour that fast, folks.
That fast. Jay Schrader, NFL great. Rich Perez here, Las Vegas, Nevada. And I want to thank everybody for listening, watching online, wherever you're watching. If you're watching a replay, we appreciate it. We'll see you next week, everybody. Bye-bye.
Hi, everybody. This is Brent